Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. In today's session, we're going to explore one of the most important topics in Java programming, loops. Loops are a way to repeat a block of code many times without writing the same code again. This makes programs shorter, easier to read, and less error-prone. For example, if we want to print numbers from 1 to 100, we don't need to write 100 print statements. With loops, we can do it in just a few lines. Think of a real-life routine: waking up, brushing teeth, having breakfast, and going to work or class. These steps repeat every day. In the same way, loops help us repeat tasks in programs. Java mainly gives us three types of loops. The first is the for loop. We use it when we already know how many times the loop should run. For example, if we want to print the first 10 numbers, a for loop is perfect. The second is the while loop. This loop is used when we don't know in advance how many times it should repeat. It keeps running until a condition becomes false. And the third is the do while loop. This is almost the same as the while loop, but with one key difference: the code inside it will run at least once, even if the condition is false from the very beginning. To understand these better, let's take a simple example: printing the multiplication table of 5. We'll solve it using all three loops so you can compare how they work. Let's start with the for loop. We initialize the variable I as 1. The loop runs as long as I is less than or equal to 10. Inside the loop, we calculate 5 times I and print it. After every round, I increases by 1. So first we get 5 times 1, then 5 times 2, and so on, until 5 times 10. The for loop is short, neat, and easy to read, which makes it a good choice when the number of iterations is fixed. Now, let's look at the while loop. Here, we set j equal to 1 and then check the condition before running the loop. As long as j is less than or equal to 10, the code keeps running. Inside the loop, we print 5 times j, then increase j by 1. This loop gives the same result as the for loop, but it's slightly more flexible because the condition is checked each time before running. Finally, let's see the do while loop. We set k equal to 1, then run the code first before checking the condition. This means that even if the condition is false at the very start, the code will still run at least once. In our case, the condition is k less than or equal to 10, so the table prints from 1 to 10, just like before. The do while loop is useful in cases where we want the action to happen once no matter what, such as showing a menu or taking input from a user. Now let's look at the output. For all three loops, the result is exactly the same. 5 times 1 equals 5. 5 times 2 equals 10. This continues until 5 times 10, which equals 50. So even though the structure of each loop is different, the final output is identical. To summarize, loops in Java allow us to write less code, save time, and reduce mistakes. The for loop is best when we know how many times we want the loop to run. The while loop is useful when the loop depends on a condition. And the do while loop guarantees that the code will run at least once. By practicing with examples like multiplication tables, printing patterns, or handling user input, you'll become more confident with loops in Java. That brings us to the end of today's session. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more Java tutorials.